What is up, guys? We're the One Stop Vids. I'm Professor Jack.
I'm a doctor with dentistry.
Yes, and we've been noticing a lot of channels talking about Pauper recently.
We have, he has, not me. Not me at all. Nope. No siree.
If you don't know what Pauper is, it's a common only format. So most decks run $20 for the good ones, and you can get away with a $10 deck and have fun.
I can suppose it's a format if you're a cheap kid with a limited allowance.
That's who it was kind of made for, or to have a second format for a top tier player who wants to just have fun with Magic still.
I'm a Magic player. I spend all my money on new cards every week because I get a new crazy idea in my head.
But you don't play top tier.
And I don't. No, because I have fun. I switch things around. I play just kind of goofy crap I see in my head. But that goofy crap still costs me a lot of money.
Okay, now what about goofy crap that's only going to cost you $20?
To me, I'm trying to build these broken combos or these fun combos where I can win average games against average decks, and I look at Pauper as a bullcrap format. You're only playing common cards, so you're only going to have the weak. Yeah, you do have some of those really good cards in there, but
like
for the most part, you don't have that many crazy good cards, and it's not a format that interests me because I feel like I'd have to dumb myself down to play it.
You don't have crazy cards, but you have crazy combos that can go off.
The only way I could see Pauper being a fun format for me is if me and the other guy both made our decks from like a common bin at a store and both had like $1 or $2 to build it.
Which could be an idea for us in the future.
But yeah, I mean, I know some stores where we could easily do that.
Yeah.
It's never interested me. I've never wanted to like, oh, I'm going to just go through my run-of-the-mill average commons and try and build a deck. Like, I might have enough in my staple binder to get something, but I don't feel like it would be even that crazy powerful, and it's nothing that interests me, and then I don't see why it would be much of a big thing. I mean, play the formats that interest you, do what makes you happy. I don't want to sway you one way or not. Some people tell me that EDH is the best format. I used to agree with you. I used to strictly just be an EDH player. Now I hardly touch it. Certain players have just ruined EDH for me, and I'm just taking a break from it, and I've been focusing more on Modern than I have even Standard because of the bannings. But I know I'll come around, I'll play either or of those still. I'm still collecting Standard, you know. I'm always buying into the new sets, because you don't know what's going to be good later on either.
That's true.
And I'm a silly one, and I like opening packs, even though I should just buy what I want. But yeah, do what makes you happy, and I don't want to sway your opinion either way. But to me, it doesn't seem like that fun.
I mean, I always like Pauper because I don't make that much money, I guess. But it's always been like, it reminds me of the old days when you used to play with your friends and no one had like a good deck. Everyone was playing really crappy cards, they open out packs and whatnot. But it's also way more of an open scheme now where you can play with anything that was printed at common level. So there's a lot of crazy combos out there that goes off. There's a lot of decent decks out there. And my modern burn deck is pretty much a Pauper deck minus 6 or 7 cards, which I can switch over to make it a Pauper deck. There's a lot of things you can do in Pauper, and I think a lot of people should, if they want to play it, they should start supporting the store and try and get the stores to play Pauper and have Pauper events.
I just don't see how it would fire off. Like, face it, at the store you work at, half the people that play Magic come to you and like, oh, I don't have money to play F&M on Friday, $5 is too much. Now all of a sudden we're playing a budget format where the average deck is $10 to $20. Why am I wanting to spend a quarter of my deck to go and play at a thing just to win 1 or 2 packs? You know what I mean?
Because you're paying $5 for 2 or 3 packs. That's it. I mean, I feel like that's a good thing. And you also paying to play.
If you win, though, that's the key word.
But you're still paying $5 to have fun and enjoying the deck and playing cards that you never get to play. Like,
where with Modern, you get these crazy ideas in your head. You look at the symmetry of everything, And the deck cost you a decent amount, so when you're saying, oh, the $5 to play tonight, that's nothing compared to what I put into this deck, the time, the labor, the sweat, the love I put into building this, brewing it right, crafting it, and fine-tuning it to play it. I feel like that's all like a fair thing. Even if it was like a dollar thing to play Pauper, I feel like it would still be a joke. It's like, what do you win at the end of the night? All the money? And then you're not supposed to really play Magic for money? Great, you're a kid that you have limited allowance. Like, I see it being a fun format, and it's a good way to push you into playing the game. I don't see someone like me who has been fun playing Magic since, when did I get out of high school? 2010? I've been playing since 2010, 8 years of my life. I just, on and off again too, but...
You brought up EDH earlier. How many people said EDH wasn't going to pick up? And how many people said EDH doesn't sound fun, they can limit to one
EDH
card?
started right when I started playing Magic, and I stayed away from it because I didn't understand the giant card and the case and everything, and it took me, actually, until about 3 years ago to get into it. And when I started playing it, at first I was like, oh, this is weird, I'm not going to get too far into it, and the next thing I knew, I was buying every EDH deck I could get my hands on. And I was also, like, going out, and I was buying all these big crazy case cards. I was like, oh, I'm going to build this cool 3-color thing here because it works, and this and that. And then, for me, again, I like putting $100, $200 into building something, having it be somewhat playable. EDH got ruined for me. We play against this guy who plays with $700 decks. It's not fun when, yeah, my turn took me 5 minutes, your turn took you half an hour, you cycled through your whole deck, you have 20 cards left, and you have a 40/40 creature out there, and I'm just sitting here like, yeah, well, I have a regenerate zombie. This is cool. So, I mean, playing against people in your level, and I don't know, Pauper doesn't interest me. Like,
there are 5 Pauper decks that are over $200.
Even then, like, I don't want to just go in my mind of, oh, I want to spend $200. It's not about the money per se. It's the
about fine tuning. Because you can go in and fine-tune a Pauper deck.
Just the sound of Pauper, there's nothing in the name of it that, like, super interests me. Even if I was to do Pauper, I would do something stupid like a tribal. And it would be a craps and giggles, hey, I spent $5 to build cats, or I spent $5 on elves.
Well, elves is actually one of the top-tier decks. Because you get to play heavy creatures that are like 7-drop elves that you can't play in any other format because it was either printed in Commander only or it was printed somewhere.
Pauper has no interest in me. I'm not going to play it. So if you guys want to see Pauper, comment, ask for it. I'll let him do it. I'll find a co-host that's somewhat into Pauper to help him out with it. To me, it's not a format that interests me, and I'm sorry if I'm being a negative Nancy.
Are you willing to give it a try at least? Because like you said with EDH, you weren't interested in it until you gave it a try, and then you found out it was your favorite format for a while. What if Pauper is the same thing for you, where you haven't tried it, so you don't really know the experience of having fun in Pauper?
I fully understand Pauper compared to what EDH was, and for me, it just...
You're looking at Pauper very linearly, though. It's only the cheap, crappy cards. There's a lot of good cards for that Pauper level.
There is. It's just, still... There's something about having the commander that was different that I didn't understand at first. And then when I did get it, and I saw it was all about like the synergy and the time of brewing it, cool. But with me just going through all my boxes of average commons to try and like think of a good synergy-ish common deck like that, most of the commons I just have laying around I consider crap. Like I don't want to spend the time digging through them. I would rather almost somebody else be like, hey dude, I was digging through my stuff and I saw this common card and I realized it worked really well with that, and then I'll kind of look and listen to that does work well, and then I'd try and look for something else that would work with. But for me, just to like kind of dig through a bin of stuff that I've had laying around in a drawer in my bedroom for years, like, it sounds like more of a chore to me. It sounds like when your mom tells you to clean your room.
Okay, let's do this. Let's play this game right now. You just lost your job. And you're living with your parents. And you know you get $4 or $5 a week.
I own my own business. I do not live with my parents.
Theoretically. Again, I say we're playing this game, so theoretically you lost your job, you live with your parents. You have all those stacks of cards, and you know that, one, you're not going to sell them because...
You're not going to get your money out of them.
Yeah. And two, you have friends who want to play Magic with you, and they're playing $400 or $500 decks, and all you can afford is buying maybe a pack or two a week. And you say, and one of them brings up, hey, let's try Pauper to make it fair for you. Are you gonna really...
would, but even then, like, I have so much stuff, I'd start playing that. And, like, if I wasn't in a situation where I couldn't afford to play Magic, I would, it would kind of hurt my feelings, but I think I would stop for a bit. Like,
I don't know.
I have so much stuff, like, yeah, it gets boring that I play the same old 10, 15 decks constantly, but that's 10, 15 decks. It's a lot of switching up I can do. Part of the thing of Magic that gets boring for me is my opponents. I play with 20 guys, and you know, some of them are really cool, and some of them always come up with crazy decks, and I love them for it. And other people I have, I actually just heard this term today, are evergreen players, where they come up with these basic mechanics and they try 50 different times to make the deck work against me.
Every deck has flying, every deck has first strike, every deck has this and that and this and that.
Ooh, why doesn't it work? You told me that Doomblade and all the murder spells that cost 1 to 2 mana are good, and then all of a sudden I threw in Duresses, and my only real creatures are Vampire, Nightlock, and Gifted Aetherborn. Why isn't this working? Because when you're pulling the same strategy in every deck you build, it's too easy to build around it.
Not saying evergreen decks are bad. There are some people who can actually build really good evergreen decks.
You build I'm not even gonna fully lie. I have an evergreen deck out there, right on the internet. It's a fun deck to play with. I don't play just evergreen. It's just... You know what I mean? The thing from Magic that excites me is not so much of when I build a new deck, even though, don't get me wrong, that is the greatest feeling ever when you build a new deck, it works and it's fun. When your opponent builds a deck that's fun and different than anything you've been playing, so you have a learning curve of how you want to switch around and how you're going to come at it, and like, cool, I'll play my Infect against it, I'll play my Rakdos Burn, I'll play my Golgari tokens, like, I'll start playing different decks about it. Even if I know one has the advantage of the other, just because it's fun, the interaction's cool. And sometimes it is cool when you're playing at a disadvantage. So, for me, the format of Pauper, just playing commons, kind of...
But it's also commons from anywhere in Magic. Except for the Storm.
Just breaking it down to commons, like, don't think that I'm the guy that, like, I have to play all rare cards in my deck. I don't play that way. Most of my decks, I'd probably say, are 50% uncommon, actually. But, yeah. I'll play decks, any rarity level, you know, anything. Like, I think my Rakdos Burn. I don't know if I'm actually main board playing any rares but lands.
But yeah, back to what I was saying earlier about Pauper. Pauper is the format that you have to be creative to play it. You have to look... You do have to read a lot of cards, and you have to read into it a lot. There are some people who net deck, and, you know... Elves are a big deck right now, Stompy's a big deck. There's a lot of big decks out there, but there's nothing. There's a lot of big decks out there. There's not, like... Energy and... Red. There's... I don't think there's an energy deck in Pauper.
12 uncommon cards in the deck. Everything else is common main board except for the 8 dual land rares. So, yeah, see...
You almost had a Pauper deck.
It is, and I guess, yeah, over time I fine-tuned it and crafted it, and I didn't need rares. I mean, my sideboard's almost all rares, but... Then again, I switch out the Dreadbores, and I only have the Dreadbores because I own them. You know, I could put in Terminate. I think that is a common. It just... I don't know, and even then I feel like it would be a major kick in the butt to have to swap out those uncommon.
For a common? Yeah. I can see your point of you don't want to break down your deck, but again, if
You know what? I think Monastery was an iconic as a common.
I believe so too.
So it would be just me getting rid of my Gutter Snipes and my, what's it called?
You know, Pyromancer?
Yep.
Replace it with Electrostatic Maniac. Or, what's that thing called that you...
Thermal Alchemist?
Yeah, Thermal Alchemist. That's common.
I guess it would be doable. It's just...
Oh, the Tron lands are common. They're originally printed as commons.
Trons never interest me. I have the Tron lands, but you've seen, I was like, I'm going to build an equipment deck with these and they'll be white so I can put cats in there. And then I was like, no, that's stupid. I'm not going to do it.
Tron's a very hard deck to build around, actually, in my opinion. Most people just play colorless Tron or green Tron. I saw 1 or 2 blue Trons out there that I thought were interesting.
That's why I thought I'd do a white Tron.
Yeah. Again, Tron's kind of hard to build around.
My light Tron would just be equipments.
But yeah. I got so lost, I don't know if I say anything good about Pauper yet.
I think that the majority of the video was just me babbling on, saying how I'm not interested in it. Do what you want to do, let Magic be a game. Voice your opinion. Tell me why I'm wrong. Tell him why he's right. Tell him why he's wrong. Tell me why I'm right. Magic's about what you want it to be, and don't listen to my opinion any more than his or the professor's or really any Magic YouTuber. We all have our very own interesting and good points. The only YouTuber I would tell you not to listen to is
Unsleeved?
yeah, that guy's a piece of crap.
So about that, we wanted to apologize to Bad Boy because we didn't realize how bad of a person Unsleeved was. And
even then, we were trying to bias in that video. I was harder on him than anyone.
yeah,
Which, you know, at the time of reporting too, Unsleeved never did anything crazy. And, you know, he pulled up a good point, and, you know, Bad Boy, I think, learned his lesson out of it, too. And he's a cool dude. He's actually addressed him in a couple of videos.
yeah, once or twice. I think he private messaged me like 3 or 4 times, too.
On live streams, private messages, yeah.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy, actually.
When he was going through everything, he posted a video up about how we were jerks for all of 2 minutes and cut it down. And we're not mad about that at all, because it actually helped, I think, get us a couple of new subscribers.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. I have nothing wrong with him. I know he changed his name, and I'm sorry I don't remember his new name.
It hasn't changed much. It's honestly like Bad Boy Gaming instead of Bad Boy MTG or something like that.
I know he changed his name because Unsleeved like bashed his name so bad that whenever you typed in his name, Unsleeved Media came up with his bad video on him, so no one watched him and whatnot.
It's a very slight change, if anything. But no, he's a totally cool dude. Like, give him some likes and subscribes for us. Hopefully you shouted out enough to him that he watches this video and tries to reciprocate.
Yeah, you're a cool dude. Since this kind of turned to a random video, earlier you say you didn't like playing the same deck over and over and over again. What's your feeling against deck teching versus homebrewing?
In some ways, I love it. In other ways, I hate it. Because in some ways, I love being able to go online, look at my collection, and be like, hey, I think this card's awesome. How can I make a deck around this out of crap I have? And that's what I love about it. What I hate is when you become a know-it-all deck builder. Oh, I can awesomely anything. And then it's like, no. All your decks are completely found off of MTG Goldfish. Don't come telling me how you're a great deck builder. Don't get me wrong. Some of the decks I build are very based off of MTG Goldfish's stuff. Other decks I build have 0% of that in there. Some decks I build go off of an original evergreen strategy of, I'm feeling lazy, I'm going to play Death Touch Murder. And then all of a sudden I'll see like, hey, I'm playing this card in here, and this is lifelink. But now this combo's off this, and it slightly turns into something different. And there's other times too, like we'll build one deck and then somehow it'll completely wind up into being 2 decks, and the other one's just because 8 cards we thought were cool and could be played in a different strategy.
I mean, when I make a deck by myself, I kind of go to like MTG Go Fish or Tapped Out or whatever, and just look through decks for ideas. I'm like, oh, that's a cool idea. How can I make that better? Or, oh, that's a good deck. How can I beat that deck? That's my strategy for net decking, I guess you would say.
And that's the other cool thing about it, you know, you have that guy that comes into your game, comes into your store, whatever, beats you bad, then he's kind of a jerk about it, and you're kind of like, good. I know what he just played against me. I'm gonna go look how to beat that. And you can assassin deck him. That's kind of a cool thing, you know. If that one guy like really focuses you to make a new deck, especially if things are getting stale, like that's kind of cool. One of my favorite guys I know to play Magic against is our friend Rob. Rob does not play top tier decks. He gets some stupid little strategy in his head, and he looks at everything and everyone in the meta and what they're playing, and he figures out what cards can go against everything, so he has the widest possible range of fighting everyone, but not conquering anyone specifically too.
You see, Rob does what I do, just 100 times better than me.
Yeah, and it's great, because he's not overpowered to anything, and there's certain times like I'm like, I feel like he's just built to beat me, and then like a week later I'll look at it again and I'll be like, no. That clearly gets everyone, not just me. Or, okay, yeah, it affected dinosaurs a little bit more than it affected merfolk, but... And I love how he does that, and he'll have like 5 different decks that are just so wide and so completely different, but they're so versatile against everything in the meta.
And they're always easy to play.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
I've never actually played one of his decks and like, what do I do?
We play with some people too that have a hard time figuring out good combos, and they can just take one of Rob's decks. They'll have to learn 1 or 2 little things, but they'll be able to play it pretty efficiently. It's another guy I played with, Kevin. Like, I thought he was the biggest jerk the first time I met him. No. He plays competitively. But you want to listen, he'll be able to look at what you're trying to do with your deck, and he'll be able to give you 10 good choice options for it. And yeah, no, he comes off strong sometimes, but...
I've only had like 3 conversations with Kevin, I don't hate him, but I don't like him either.
He can come off strong. I think he came off a little strong to him. My first time was I never want to play Magic with this kid again.
The first thing he said to me was, oh, you're the guy who doesn't know how to build decks, and you're not allowed to build decks anymore. I was like, cool, dude. Go fluff yourself.
You're rambling in more personal feeling than Magic generally.
I know.
Well, we've rambled on for probably what seems like an hour now.
Hopefully you guys like this. If you guys like our ramble videos, please
comment.
Us. Yeah.
And if you hate them, please comment twice as much so we'll know to abort from doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Especially because I feel like we came to talk about Pauper, and we've talked about everything and Pauper.
One of us talked about most of it.
You're saying I talk too much?
No, not at all.
Well, I mean, you shouldn't ask me so many opinions about a format I don't like.
Thank you guys for watching. You guys have been great. Have a great one. Bye-byes!
Hasta la vista. Huh?